I'm going to ask the world right now, have you ever met a Filipino? If you've been to a hospital, then the answer is yes. Every nurse can sing, every nurse can dance, and there's always one comedian in the emergency room. That's what Filipinos do. They sing, they dance, and they laugh. And they take your blood pressure. And if you're sitting at home and you're watching this, you're gonna love this show because we're gonna give you an all-expense paid first-class ticket to the Philippines, and Netflix is paying for it.
We are back with Chef Carla Hall and comedian Joe Coy, and that was a clip from Joe's Netflix special, In His Elements. Joe, first of all, and I was hoping maybe that we would run the rice bit of the special, but that's okay. So tell us a little bit more about it.
I had to take it home to the Philippines. It was my opportunity. You know, they asked for a third special, and I went in and I was like, I have to give back to a culture that gave me so much, and I wanted people to see what the Filipinos look like, what Filipinos eat, and everything about that special was Filipino. The stagehands, the cameramen, the performers on stage. I mean, I literally got dancers from, you know, certain areas to come perform, and I got kids that were rapping. These kids live in the Philippines, and it was just this opportunity that I was able to provide, and I couldn't believe it. These cats are from the States. I brought them to the Philippines for the first time and perform, and it was just a big love fest, man. Just, you know, embracing your culture and celebrating, and hopefully I can inspire other Filipinos that, you know, that opportunity can happen if you just dream.
Yeah, to touch on that, we went to Hawaii, and remember, and my Hawaiian buddies love you. You were like a super megastar in Hawaii. But to your point, and we talked about Shaq being a role model, it's got to feel pretty good for you to have other people look up to you that look like you and say, hey, I can be him.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And that's all that was. You know, I told Rob Schneider when I finally got to meet him, I was like, bro, you were my only inspiration. You know, when I was growing up in the 80s, there were no Filipinos that looked like me that were doing comedy, and I wanted to be a comic. And when I saw Rob Schneider on the big screen, I was like, I can do it. So that's what this was all about. Like, you know, I always tell people, and just hearing your story, Ryan, about getting cut, I just want you to know, like, when I pitched my first special live from Seattle to Netflix, they said no to me. They said no to me 3 or 4 times. So I physically had to pay for my first special. And that's how hard it was for me to get on Netflix. And when I finally got in and the door was open, I was like, well, now I could get that chance to showcase other Filipinos and give them opportunity. And that's what In His Elements was all about.
Are you suggesting that Ryan pay for his way into the acting world?
I'm just, hey, you know what? To be honest, yeah, you know.
I think there was a big scandal about all that. I don't know.
Or shall he sleep his way to the top?
No, that was where the scandal was. We're not,
I just, you know, dreams, you know how Hollywood is, Ryan. Like, how many pilots have I had have been canceled? How many specials have been turned down for me? And, you know, sometimes you know, the obstacles are in front of you, but it's up to you whether you want to jump over it or let that obstacle obstruct your view. So I chose to jump over it, man. And you got to do what it takes to do it, man.
Yeah, amen. Go on now. We took us into a little Filipino church.
And now Joe has a big bus that I have been on with his big face on the side. It's a huge picture. It says Joe Coy. It's awesome. It's an awesome bus. And I know that's how Carla drives just to go to the grocery store.
Oh.